So this chimney cap is starting to separate from the sealant here. As you see when I push down on it, creates a small little crack right there. See if you can see it. Right there. And when I do it over here, you can actually see the water in there. See that water moving? Behind this collar here is a big hole that big pipe flume comes up through. And water can get right down inside there. So this really should be addressed. When these things are put on here, this thing should all be caulked up really well. As you can see, there's a hole there. Really hard to see. Yeah, you can kind of see it right there. But there should be one on that back side too over there. So this whole thing really should be coated in an elastomeric sealant or a polymer of some sort. Only other thing I was going to do, make sure you have drip edge up in here. I can usually, you can hear it flicking it. So they did put step flashing in there. The bottom has flashing already checked, and I checked the top. It's flashed as well. One thing I noticed on the back, oh wow, there's a big nail pop right here. Nail sticking through the shingle. There's probably going to be a handful of these on this roof. Now I did notice from afar that this pipe boot over here seems to be cracked, or is starting to crack, which basically means it's dry rotting. Step over here. Granules are starting to come off the shingles as well. Okay. Well, maybe it's not as bad as I thought. Maybe I was seeing things. No, this one's not cracked, so that's a good thing. Although the shingle is buckled up pretty big right here. That needs to be reseated. This shingle should actually be cut right here and right here. One, to let the shingle relax, and two, to let that water drain all the way down and off that pipe boot. You can see where they caulked around it. All that caulking is cracked and broken. We'll check these other ones out. Keep an eye out for nail pops as well. Same thing with this one. It should be cut to let the water flow right here. So this little section right here, the shingle should be gone. You can see it's all cracked out, completely separated from the pipe boot. This one looks pretty rough. Really, this should have been underneath at least this shingle as well. So this shingle should really be sitting on top right here. I would actually have gone as far as put it underneath this one as well. And like I said, you just cut a small area right here and here. That way it runs down all the shingles like it's an actual shingle roof. These are kicked up due to the amount of caulk. The amount of caulk somebody put underneath here. There's a lot of this stuff. This isn't really even caulk. This is like roofing cement. Both of these corners are kicked way up. You can see how much is underneath there. Some right there too. It's holding it all up. It's probably warped it permanently like that. So really it needs to, gosh dang man. All this is completely separating. I'm sorry. This is all separating. This is gonna start leaking pretty soon. This should all be underneath this, absolutely. And a nail here with some elastomeric sealant on it, and a nail right there holding that down with some elastomeric sealant. Not to mention, a handful of nail pops. That looks like another one right there. Yep, right there. It's a nail pop right there. Right there. I would say you probably have a dozen or so of these just randomly throughout the roof. Let me back up here. Here we go. Kind of just walk it. And they are really hard to see with the naked eye unless the whole nail's sticking through it. They're really hard to spot. So what we would do when we came back, we would actually walk this roof in a grid pattern, kind of bent over, just looking for that weird half crescent moon shape or a full moon shape. And we know they're usually in an area right here, right through there. So that's the area you look at on the shingle. I'm not spotting any right off the bat. Let's see. You got drip edge, that's good. The nails on the end should have sealant, as you can see. Those don't have any sealant on them. So those, as you can see, they're rusted too. So it doesn't take a few years before those are completely rusted out and there's no head left, and then you end up with just a hole in the shingle. see. This one's not sticking through the shingle yet, but you can see the shingle's so raised that there is a nail popping up right there. There it is, right there. You can see it sticking up about, oop, come on, guy. There we go. It's sticking up a good 1/4 inch or more, but that's lifting that shingle up. Usually from ground level, if you're looking straight up, oops, sorry. Come on now. If you're looking straight up a roof, you can see where the shingles just kind of raise up every once in a while, and those are usually nail pops. That should definitely be addressed. Yeah, that's one right there. You can barely see it, but that's one right there. There's another one right there. In all honesty, that looks like an actual framing nail. See how tiny that head is? I believe that actually came out of the rafter and not out of the shingle. So it's backed all the way out of the rafter. Anyway, so yeah, you got a handful of nail pops, a couple pipe boots that need to be addressed. The upper part of the chimney right there needs to be sealed up really well and coated. Looks like he maybe had some, I don't know, if these shingles through here are just kind of rough looking, kind of scuffed up and broken all the way down through the edge right here. That usually happens when there's a tree branch hanging over a roof, and as the wind blows, it kind of bangs against them, ripping them up. Yeah, so that's about all I found on here. Thanks, guys.